ఆన్ చేసినావు కదా ఆల్రెడీ. షర్ట్ ట్యాప్. అబ్బా
भैया की बुक अच्छी है क्या? आप यूज करते हो
और अगर मेरी कोई मत लेना बेटा,
क्या?
मेरी कोई मत लेना।
नहीं यूज करते?
नहीं, मैं करता हूँ यूज उसको, क्या करना है?
सबकी प्रैक्टिस।
पीछे के पेज पे कर लो।
Yeah, hi all. Good morning. Good evening.
गुड इवनिंग।
So
Hi,
we'll
good evening.
wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. If anybody is having any queries, any issues, please let me know.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, about that installation, I need your help after the class
No, we haven't installed anything yet. Okay.
because I missed the second day class. So if I
No,
have
it's
any.
okay. We haven't done the installation yet.
Okay. And another way, general query, I just wanted to check. As you said that check in, check out, and update all. So, sir, when we are doing anything that changes, we are checking in and saving to the master repository, correct?
Yes.
And checking out is when we want to edit it, we just get the code from that repository and you will update the changes means in your local and then update all means like
Taking the
whatever.
update from other team members. Okay. So like in your absence, somebody has done certain changes or they have enhanced your test cases. So how you will get to know that? So once you log into your application, you have to take update all so that from the main repository, whatever changes somebody has, has done in your absence, that changes you can get on your repository.
And the thing is, as you said, if multiple people, if two people or three people are doing simultaneously checking or update all, how that conflicting and merge issues will handle and how it will happen. That was the thing.
That will going to handle it by the Tosca. You don't have to worry about all those. Okay.
Now, like 9 o'clock, I will do 9:05. You will do, and again, like uh, if another person also doing at the same time, same. I mean, maybe seconds vary, but so.
No, so you won't be able to make the same changes on the same directory or test cases because you have a functionality of a checkout. So only specific changes will going to get added. Like you have checkout test case one and you are doing the changes in that test case, and I'm doing the changes in my test case two. So whenever both of them will going to commit, they will going to commit those changes of the test case one and test case two to the main drive. So there won't be
Okay,
any ambiguity.
okay, but in case if any merge issues or conflict issues happens really or realistically, then again the tool will handle you are telling. No need of
Yes, you don't have to worry.
because in Java we know right in the coding
Yeah,
merging we
so
have
that is a bit different thing. Okay, so you have to take care of git merge and all those, and
correct
if
correct.
there will be conflict, then you have to resolve the conflict, then you have to push the changes. All these thing will be handled by the Tosca. You don't have to worry about all those. Okay.
And sir, you said that HTML thing right? Um,
HTML.
you clicked on that the standard module on that HTML right in the last demo. I
Hmm.
mean last.
Yes.
So do we need to see HTML only in that component? Is it mandatory?
Yeah, those are the standard modules, so you will be able to find those in that structure wise only. Okay, under those HTML only you will be able to find open browser, close browser, all those standard modules.
Mhm.
Okay.
And what is the script they have written? All these modules behind that?
It is written in C sharp.
Okay, okay, that's not needed to learn, right? I mean, only
No,
modules we have.
if
Oh,
you want to go with uh, SAT, specific execution task, and there is some specific requirement that your modules are not working, then you have to customize your module or you have to
mm.
make the request to Tricentis people. They will going to create a module for you. or else you can create using a C sharp.
Okay,
Okay.
but you said in the last demo that we have to create our own modules also other than standard models, correct?
Yes.
So for that there is no need to learn C sharp
No,
backend.
not at the moment. That is very complex scenarios.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So we'll quickly going to start the session. Okay. So today also we are going to have a demo session. So from tomorrow we're going to do the installation and all those. Okay. So many people have missed the session demo session, so they are asking to free session for today. Okay. So we will going to continue with the same whatever we have covered so far, and we're going to take the remaining action modes. Okay. So now what I will do, let me quickly open the repository. Please let me know once my screen is visible to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let the Tosca command get loaded. Okay, so last day what we have done, we have seen that how to create the folder structure, and we have added test cases over here, and then we have done the execution of these test cases. Okay, and we have seen how to enter the values, and let me expand this. Okay, so how to enter the values, what are the action modes we have, input, verify. Okay, so today we're going to cover the remaining action mode and see what are the different action modes we have. Okay, so let me quickly expand this one. Happened. Okay, so let me go to this. Yeah, so what we have done, we have added these changes over here, and then don't know why it is getting stuck again and again. Okay, so what we have done, we have entered the values, and once you enter the values, automatically these action modes input is selected over there. Okay, so now we will see what are the different action modes we have. So let me quickly do a checkout. I want to work in this particular test case, so I will simply, the shortcut is Control O. You can do that, or do a right click and then you can click on checkout. Okay, so the next action mode will be wait on. Now, what is the use of wait on? Somebody asked me that can we use wait in our test cases or not? Like for this one, if I execute this particular test case, let me disable the close one. If I execute my test cases in this particular, so now consider a scenario you are having some issues. Okay, Y- there will be some issues with your application, and you're having a performance issue with your application. Your developer is telling that okay, we are having some latency, and because of that there will be some issues, so you have to handle those waits. Okay, now my execution gets completed over here. We take around 17 seconds it is taking. Now consider a scenario, I am having some issues. After launching this particular URL, it will take 3 uh, 20 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds to invoke my application and get it ready. So in that case, what you will do, you have to add the wait just before these particular modules. Correct? Because once it is going to open that URL, it will start looking for these values. And if it is not able to find it, it will going to get. your test cases will going to get failed, correct? So now just to overcome that issue, what we will do, we'll go to the module section, expand the standard modules, go to engines, not engine, go to T box, this one, and you can see there is timing. So we're going to extract this and add it over here, and let me put it just after that. Now I'm having a performance issue, so what we will do, we're going to wait for 10 seconds over here, and then we're going to do the execution. So what it will do, it will going to launch the browser, and then after that it will going to wait for 10 seconds, and then it will going to do the further execution. Okay, so now you can see it is taking around 18 seconds to complete the execution. Okay, 18 seconds, some milliseconds. As I've added a 10 seconds of wait is calculated in a millisecond, so you have to add the data in multiple of 1000. So this means 10 seconds. Okay, now consider a scenario still there is more performance issue within 10 seconds, my test cases is not getting loaded. So in that case, what we will do? Anybody?
We need to we need to validate until the pages is populated.
Yeah, but we don't have anything right now. So how we will going to validate?
So we
If
need to
your page is still not loading. So how you will going to validate?
Wait for some web element
Okay.
like
So
so
now
Salesforce.
you can
we
see
should
over
wait
here we are
we should wait until the next page it exists, right?
okay. Okay. So right now what is having I have just added a 10 seconds over here. Maybe in future that will be not sufficient. Maybe it is taking 15 seconds, 20 seconds to load my page. Again, my test case will going to get failed. Again, you will going to do the required changes over here. Correct. Now they have fine-tuned your application. Now it is taking 20 less than 5 seconds to load your page. So again, you will going to reduce the time, correct? Because right now you are it is taking around 18 seconds to execute this test case. Okay. So right now you are executing just one test case, that won't make any difference. But when you will going to execute 100 test cases, 200 test cases, 300 test cases in the nightly job, then in that case it will make a huge difference. Correct? So now what we will do, we're going to remove this T box wait because we don't know how much time it will going to take. So instead of that, I will going to disable this one. So Tricentis, from the best practices, we have to follow the wait on. So what wait on will do? What I will do, I will going to add a wait on in this one. So what do you mean by wait on? Wait on means it will going to wait for that element to be true. Okay, so what I have added over here, visible equal to true. So I'm looking for this particular element till the time it will become true. I have to wait. Okay, once it will be true, then further execution will going to get continue normally. Okay, so instead of adding a wait, you should add a wait on in any of the attribute, the first attribute you are having. So now if I do the execution over here, let's see. Okay, so execution gets completed over here. And now it is taking around 11 seconds to total execute my test cases. Okay, so if I expand this one, where I have added a wait on was successful, and it hardly take 1 second to validate this one. Okay, so
So
it is
Amir,
a kind. Yeah,
the previous wait is a hard-coded wait. Means in
yes,
any
that is
case
a
it will
static
wait for.
wait.
That's a static wait. Okay.
Yes. So if your page is loading, not loading, it will not concern with all those. It will going to wait whatever time you have added over here. It will going to wait for that much of duration, and it will not going to check that okay your page is loading or not, or it is taking more time, less time, whatever it is. You have just added a wait. It will going to wait for that time.
Mhm.
That is called as a static wait. Okay. In future, if your if there will be performance issue with your application, if it is taking 5 seconds, 10 seconds, then it will going to wait accordingly till this element will become true, visible equal to true we have added over here. Okay.
But
So we can
what's
put
up?
wait on is okay, right? Every time. We don't need to set a time, right?
Sorry.
So we can mention every time when we executing the test cases as wait on, right? So we don't need to mention every time as number, whichever we fetch the number, right? So wait on is
The
better, right?
default timing is 20 seconds.
Hmm.
Okay. Where we can get those details, so you have to go to project, go to settings.
The default is 20 seconds.
Yes. So it
Okay.
will go to wait for every element for 20 seconds. Where is synchronization? Yeah. Now you can see wait on timing is 20 seconds. If you want to change it for the maximum time, you can see the maximum time is 20 seconds. Within 20 seconds, if it is not able to get that particular element or whatever condition you have added, it will going to get failed.
Cool.
Okay. Now what you can do, if like you're having some performance issue and it is taking too much time to load your application, you can increase the timing over here. Okay. And then according like it is taking 30 seconds to load, so you can add 30 over here and it will going to work. But this is a global settings, so don't try to make any changes in the global settings. If you make it 30 seconds for other application or other test cases also, it will going to wait for 30 seconds. Okay. So in that case, for one of my test case, it is having the issues. So simply what I can do, simply I will go to my test case, go to the configuration parameter and add the synchronization wait on over here. And for this test case only, I'm having some issues. So I will going to make it as 30 seconds. So for this test case, now my time became the wait on time will become 30 seconds. And for the remaining test cases, it will be 20 seconds only. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody is having any doubt, any questions, please let me know.
So if I'm not getting expected page and I want to fail it and skip it to the next page, we can do that.
No, as you have added wait on, so it will going to wait for that element to be true. If
Okay,
it is
that
not
element is
suitable,
false. Yeah, that
yeah,
element
so
is false till
it will
20
go to fail your
seconds.
test cases.
Yeah, fail
Yes.
the test and it will continue the next page, right?
No, 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 no. It will not
Okay,
go
I
to the
want to
next page.
I want to continue the next page because I'm having problem in that particular page actually.
Okay. So if you don't want to do that, then you have to go to project settings. And you have to go to recovery. So over there, in this kind of situation, what do you want to do? I want to continue. I want to go to the
Okay.
next test case. I want to halt the execution or I want to recover.
Can we set
Okay.
up in project wise this setup?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So once we're going to cover the recovery scenarios, we're going to see all this.
Okay,
Hello.
fine. Fine, Amir. Thanks.
Yeah. Even
Sir,
you can
if
see
you want,
on, yes, please go ahead.
sorry, if you want to wait for a one element, not all the elements, any specific element in a page, then what is the solution?
So as you have added only for one element only, so it will going to
Okay,
wait
if
for this
all the
element to be true.
elements, if more elements, I mean more
Then
selected
accordingly,
elements.
you can add more element over there. Okay. So you can
So we
add
need
more
to
weight on.
select each element, and we have to like there is no like all elements all like I mean total together in the elements in the page.
No,
There is
for whichever element you want to wait, you have to add in that value. It will not going to wait
Amit,
for
can you
every
add
element.
one? Can you please add one more, like a motorcycle insurance here?
You can duplicate, right, Amit? I
Yeah,
mean, Amir?
you can copy
Alright.
that and you can
Okay.
paste it. Okay, so if I execute, expand this, you can see the wait one was successful. We were able to
so
get these values,
so
and
there
it
is
take
no
around.
command.
Sorry.
So there is no command to wait all the elements in a page, is it? To synchronizing
So
all the
if
elements.
you want to synchronize all element at a time, so you can go with synchronization timeout.
Because
Okay.
if one element fails, it will throw the error, right? We'll be stuck there only. So
Yes. Yeah, so it should be hard stop. If your test case is, if you are not able to validate certain things, then you should not go ahead. Correct. If this particular value is not true, then you should not go ahead because your page is not loaded. You will not be able to find all these elements. Correct.
yeah.
And if you want to add a multiple wait on, you can do that as well. But if one of the element is visible, it means your page is loaded. That's why your that particular element is visible. Correct. Or you can add this wait on in drop down values as well. Like you have selected a state. According to that state, your values is getting published in city dropdown. So in that case, you can, like if you have selected a particular state like Maharashtra, okay, so automatically there will be a synchronous call in your city dropdown, or maybe there might be chances it will going to get disabled for the time being unless and until that particular dropdown is getting enabled. So you can check that, okay, enabled equal to true, you can add a wait on over there. Okay, so according to your requirement you can add, but if you are navigating to any other page or if you are opening any browser, opening any page, then you should add the wait on for the first element which you will going to encounter in your modules. Okay, if you're adding a wait on over here or after performing a click, it will not going to make any sense, because if your page is not loaded properly, it will not going to perform a click if you are using a wait on over here. So make
So,
sure
Amir,
that you are, yeah.
sorry. So, in the automobile visible true means, I mean, even if you get any page cannot be displayed, that error message, that also will fail, right? In this case.
So this element will be, if your page is properly loaded, this particular link will be visible, correct?
Yes. If you're getting an error like page cannot be displayed, entire
Yes.
page. Okay.
So HTML something error you will going to get that it is not able to find that particular element.
Yes.
Okay, if your page is not loaded within 20 seconds, as the default time of wait on is 20 seconds. If it is
Yes.
not able to find it, it will going to fail your test cases.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, any questions, any more doubts? So instead of using this hard code wait, you have to use wait on whenever you are opening a new page or you are navigating from one page to another page. Like I'm navigating, I'm clicking on this next button, so I'm navigating from this particular page to this page, or there might be chances it will going to take some time to load my page. So you can validate any values in the next page as well. You can add the wait on over there. This element is visible or not, or true or not. Okay, visual
Uh,
equal to,
can we take logs as well? If
sorry.
any logs, if any fail cases happening.
So log will be added in the execution list. So if you go to the execution list, all the logs will going to get added. If it is getting failed, you will going to get a failure over here with the logs. Okay.
Okay.
And if you execute your test case n number of time, it will going to capture those logs with the timestamp. Okay. So let me quickly do it again. Let me fail this particular test case. I will going to make this. I think this is the same test case. Let me jump to this test case. Yeah, this is the same test case. So I will going to execute this particular test case. Let me check out this. Okay, so now it is getting failed. Now you can see there is a failure. If I expand this, you will be able to see the log that okay, there is a verification failure, and we were expecting this, but actually we are getting this because of that. In this particular steps, your test case got failed. Okay. Earlier on so and so date it was getting passed, but now it is getting failed. So you can check the logs and then you can do the analysis. Okay.
Also here we can take the logs downloadable, right? Here itself. Download the
Yes,
log.
you can add it in your report as well. Okay. So we have completed input, verify, and wait on. Now the next action mode is buffer. Let me disable all these. I don't want to go to this particular step. Yeah,
Can I ask one thing here?
yeah, please.
Can we do this automation for very heavy websites
You can
like
automate
Amazon?
any websites. Okay. Even it can handle SAP as well. UI SAP on web page. Okay, so let me add CE over here. Okay, now the next thing is I want to capture some text. Like you can see, I'm having this particular text. I want to capture it and save it somewhere. Okay,
Hello.
yeah.
Oh, sir, actually you said if there are multiple elements in a page, we have to wait for all the elements to load and we have to go next, okay? So as someone asked that if it is a complex page or a more any kind of thing, there are some scenarios it takes time. Like maybe it's a drop down place or any other. For example, if any city starts from S or X, so it goes on down. Like examples I'm just telling. So then it's like how do we optimize it, because for each element we said to click on wait on, and to synchronize all we have to give 20 seconds, but I need to optimize the thing and make it quicker. So how do we do for that
So you
element
can
which takes
add a enabled equal to true as a wait on. So once your value will be enabled, if you want to select any value from the drop down, it will go to select it. That's it.
no, if there are multiple elements in one or two elements, if it takes time, that again the whole page load only it takes time, right, to go ahead. So how do you optimize that in that case of it's a
So
slow
you are
response?
using a synchronization over here, so it will going to wait for 20 seconds.
That is for
Okay.
common to all elements.
Yes.
But I'm telling for one or two elements which takes a lot of time. So those kind of things explicitly how
In
you will
that
add
case,
them.
you have to explicitly add the wait on over there.
And don't mention any elements here in second one.
Sorry.
I mean in the second row what you mentioned wait on, which specific elements are you not mentioning here?
I'm not getting your questions.
In the second point you, I mean will you not mention the specific element in the
Which element?
in the page, right, we have multiple elements, right? So that you said wait on, right? If I want any explicit like month, date of birth, or any kind of list price, so many are there, right? If I want to mention those particular elements in the web page,
Hmm.
so how
So
do
for
you mention?
whichever element you want to wait explicitly, just add a wait on over there and add the property like enable equal to true, visible equal to true, exist equal to true, false, as per your requirement. Okay. So if you are executing multiple times, so when you will going to automate your test cases, you will not going to execute one time, correct? You will going
Yeah.
to automate multiple times. And when you are executing your all the test cases, you will get to know that okay, this time I'm getting a failure over here because my element is not loading. We have to add a wait on over there, or this value is not visible to me, or we have to. So accordingly, you will go with a baby step, and you will going to do the automation. You will not going to automate in one shot, correct? And you will going
Okay.
to execute your test cases multiple times. Then you have to resolve those issues one by one. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah, Piyush, you were saying something. I can see you have raised the hand. Hello. Okay. So we'll go with the next topic, that is buffer. So now if I'm clicking on automobile, I'm getting this particular text. If I click on motorcycle, I just want to copy this particular text and save it in some variable. How we can do that? Okay. So that is called as a buffering. So you are saving any text which are present in this particular browser, and you are saving it in some variable so that you can use it. Like consider a scenario of Amazon. You have placed some order and now you are getting an order ID. So now you already know that order ID is a random text. It will going to generate anything. So you have to capture the order ID so that you can paste those values in API, database, or wherever you want to perform the next automation of that values. So how you can do that? Correct. If you are not able to capture those values from the order ID, then how are you going to place it in other applications? The same way, I want to capture this, or I want to get this particular text and save it in some variable. So for that, what I will do, I will simply copy this and paste it over here again. And now I will going to add the action mode as a buffer. Okay. And let me make it as like insurance type. Okay. Or just type vehicle type. Okay. Now in this particular variable, that value will going to get saved. As you can see, I've added inner text. So whatever inner text will be there, it will going to get added in this particular variable. So if I execute this test case, let's see if we are able to get the data or not. Okay, it clicked on the motorcycle. Execution gets completed. So if I expand this one, you can see buffer with name vehicle type has been set to value motorcycle insurance. Okay. So now from where we can view the buffer value, so you can go to this particular tool and go to buffer viewer. So over here you can see vehicle type is motorcycle insurance. Okay, so by this way you can buffer any value, or you can get any value and save it in any variable of your choice.
Suppose if I want to print any value on screen, on UI screen, then from the
You want to
variable.
paste this particular value, correct? You want to use this particular value in the UI,
Okay.
correct? So like I want to enter that value in this particular annual mileage one. Okay, so simply what you have to do, simply put curly braces. B is a standard value. So after clicking on square bracket, automatically you can see whatever buffer value you have done so far, all the values will going to get published over here. So if I put a square bracket curly braces, this is the syntax. Curly braces, capital B square bracket, and whatever buffer you have added, Just type those and it will going to pass that value over here. Okay, so if you want to know that, okay, this particular buffer contains what value, so you don't have to go to tools, buffer viewer, and then navigate. So simply do a right click and translate the values. So whatever value it contains, it will go give it to you. This vehicle type contains motorcycle insurance. If I execute my test case again, let's see if we are able to add those values in annual mileage or not.
So Amir, this one is a local variable or a global variable which you created?
It will be a local. It will be saved on your system.
No, it will be considered only inside this test case which you are writing, or I can use in
Yes.
another test case as well.
So like if you are executing this particular test cases, then what I have to do, I have to generate this variable in your system. So how it will going to generate once it will going to do the execution of this particular line.
So
So it will going to
we
generate in your system and then you can use it.
so we can create this variable as a global variable, and we can use this variable.
And no, it won't be global variable. It will be present on your local system. If someone
Okay.
will going to execute your test cases, you are using a buffer. Then make sure that that particular buffer should be created first on that particular person. Then only you
No,
will be able to
no. My
use it.
question is, let's say you are writing two test cases, TC1 and TC2. Okay, so TC1 always run first, and after that TC2 is running. So TC1 is generating one buffer variable, let's say the order ID, and TC2 is using that order ID and further doing something.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that kind of thing what we are asking.
Yes. So once you are able to buffer it, then you can use it in any test cases. But make sure
Okay.
that you are creating that particular buffer on your system before using it. Now, what we will do, we're going to delete this particular buffer. I have deleted that and I'm not even creating this particular buffer. I have removed that particular value. If I try to execute and look for this particular buffer, it will going to give me an error.
So every time we need to click manually the motorcycle tab.
I'm not doing it manually. It is getting clicked through automation only. We have added a
Okay.
click over here.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So there is a error. Just you can see buffer type was not found because we have removed the buffer from our system. So make sure that whenever you are creating or you are using any buffer, make sure that you are creating those buffer in your system, in your test cases, so that even if other people are executing those test cases, they should get passed. Okay.
So uh, the buffer value only can be captured through the screen, or we can input
You can
any.
create on you on your own. We're going to see that as well.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So through application only I'm creating right now. So if you have few requirements like you want to create a buffer of environment, QA, UAT, prod, or you want to create a counter value 1, 2, 3, 4, all those you can create. So for that we have a standard modules which is providing by Tosca. We're going to use that. Okay.
So
Okay.
Amir, whatever you are explaining here,
Yeah.
you will explain in detail, right? I mean, in upcoming
Yes.
classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, as he asked, if there is a test case dependency, right, for test case 2 and
Mm-hmm.
1, and still you will be developing with all this buffer or any other factors with your own local this one, and test case 2 mine will be ready. So, but if the test case, if there is a dependency to be completed one, then only we can move to for the page navigation, and also
Yes.
what we are given elements, it might impact or affect uh, in my second test case, if repeated elements or that, then how do we synchronize all these things in real time?
So if you already know that there is a dependency of first test case with the second test case, you have to execute the test case first. You have to arrange your test cases in a sequential manner, top to bottom. Test case 1 should be at the top, and then you have to add the test case 2 in the execution list.
No, if I am not handling one, if other you are handling one, then two, then the same element we are dealing in different way as a buffering and wait time,
So
everything.
if
Then
you are using the same variable name, then it will going to override it.
yeah, that is the question. Then how do we handle that?
No, you won't be able to handle it. Right now, I will going to execute my test cases. It will be on my local system. You will going to execute your test cases. It will be on your local system. It will not going to impact. But if you execute my test cases in your system, so my value will going to override your values.
But when you do update all that center repository, you said no checking
Update
check
all will going to update your test cases, not the variable name.
test
Okay,
cases.
so you will going to take update all. So automatically over here, what we have done, we have created a buffer over here.
Hmm.
Correct. So this particular test case will going to get updated in your system. So what it will do, it will, once you execute my test case, it will going to generate this particular buffer in your system, and it will going to work fine. Correct. If like you are executing, I've you can see I don't have any buffer right now, and I'm executing your this test case of yours. I'm executing right now. If I execute this one, it will going to behave in the same fashion.
Or suppose if I'm using a same variable name and I'm
Mhm.
using your test cases for execution now, so what it will do? It will overwrite.
So at the time of execution, it will going to update that variable. When you will going to execute your test cases, whatever
Hmm.
variable name you have assigned, it will going to
Hmm.
override it, and then it will going to use it in your test cases.
No,
Okay.
why it will override my test case only? I mean, no, it takes it yours.
Because you are executing on your system, that's why.
No,
And you
no.
are using the same variable name. So you have to make sure that you are not using it, or if you are using the same variable name, it will going to override it.
Yeah, if it is same variable also, it will take your value but not my value, you said, right? So it could be reverse way also, right? I
Okay,
mean,
just a second. Just a second. You are going so far. This is my test case with the variable VEH. Test case 2. You are also having a variable VEH, and I'm having a VEH value as 4, and you are also having a variable value H 5. Okay, now tell me, right now I have executed this particular test case, correct?
hmm.
It will going to generate value 4 in my system. Now you have taken a pull in your system, and you are executing my test case in your system. So if you are executing your test, my test cases in your system, what it will going to give you value, this particular VH, what it will going to give you,
4.
correct? Now you are done with the execution of my test cases. Now you have to execute your test cases. Now you will going to execute your test cases. Now what VH will going to give you?
See, you are telling on the test case level. My question was the same element VH is present in some fifth page or sixth page. Then that test case is
It
different.
even it will going to override that. If you are having right now 4, and again you will going to use the VH value as 5, it will going to override it, or 6, it will going to override it. So you have to make sure that at the time of assigning a variable, you should not give the same name to the variable if you want to reuse it again and again.
No, if you are alone handling, okay. If it is in a team, then same element will come across with the different modules, different pages, right? Then each tester will give it in a different way. That's what the real question was.
So for that scenarios, that variable will going to get created and used in that particular test case. Irrespective of whatever values you were earlier you were having, it will going to override those. If you want to create a new test case, you want to execute those test case, the precondition will be it should buffer all the required values to be executed in your test cases. It will going to override that forcefully. And when you will going to execute your own test cases, you should make sure that those values will going to get executed, and whatever values you are expecting, that accordingly your buffer should get created and added in your test cases.
Sir, in practicals, you show that example because I'm not so clear.
Okay, we'll go to see that as well.
So,
We'll go to
Amir, so the best practice would be, while taking the code from the repository, we should check the buffer list, right? What all variables
not
has been
no
created.
no 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 no.
No?
This particular buffer list won't be visible to you because I'm using this vehicle type. This
Hmm.
is on in my local system. Okay, these buffers are
Okay.
created in your local system. It will not going to get transferred to your system. This
Oh,
particular test case will going to get transferred to your system. If you are executing my test cases, it will going to generate this vehicle type in your system.
okay.
So better to avoid
So
this
is there
situation.
so one thing.
Hello.
So is
Hello.
there
Yeah,
a way to export the buffer
no, there is no
variables
way.
to all?
So
Yeah.
why you have to transfer this buffer to other system? If I need this particular vehicle type over here, I should create it my test cases. Whoever will going to execute my test cases, they will going to generate this particular variable in their system and then will going to use it. Why you want to transfer it?
This validation we would like to do by other tester as well, right? That's what we're asking. Whether if I want this validation to be
Hmm?
done by other tester as well, the same
So
flow.
they will going to create their own buffer.
That's what. While copying the properties, it won't copy this one as well. That's what I was asking. Whether
No, 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 no. So whenever you want
uh,
to create the buffer, it should first create those buffer and add it in the system so that you don't have to
mm,
transfer this variable to some other people. Okay.
no,
Now
not the
consider the
value.
scenario of a Java. Okay.
Mm,
You have assigned a variable as one. Okay. Now you are executing it. Once your execution get finished, that particular variable will going to get finished. Correct? Because that particular test case needs variable as a one, number one. Okay, num1 is there and you are executing it. Once your execution gets finished, it will going to get the garbage collection will be done and it will going to get removed. If you are not assigning number one in your application, how it will going to get executed?
I understand that. So what I'm asking is, so here we are mentioning in inner text as vehicle type as a buffer.
Hmm?
If I'm
Yes.
if I'm sending this test cases to other person, they will, I mean, the value might be vary based on the screen, but this property will be there, right? In a text vehicle type as a buffer.
Hmm? So what it will do, it will going to execute the same test cases and
Yes,
it will going
yes,
to create the same buffer values from it will going to
e-
pick it and create a
exactly.
buffers
I think,
motorcycle insurance in that system as well.
Okay.
I mean, we can uniquely create a different variable, I think, and we can use the same
If you
value.
want to create it, you can create of your own. You don't have to worry. But the thing is, if you are creating with the same name, it will going to overwrite. Right now,
Yes.
I'm using vehicle type over here
Mm,
and I'm using it.
yeah, yeah.
Now again, if you will go to somewhere you are able to buffer the
Uh,
values again with the same vehicle type, it will going to override it.
so
So
to
make sure,
avoid this override problem, we can use a unique variable, right?
yes. So you have to give
Always.
your variable according to your requirement.
Yeah, so naming convention should be unique. That's the only
Yes,
solution, I guess.
yes. If you don't want to override the values.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
as someone asked that for any of our
Abhi,
buffer values, we should create one as a unique name resource, but we should create some separate sheet or Excel for the whole team that we are creating this for this property, this so that it's shared by all, right? No need to duplicate.
Not required. For my test case, whatever will be required, I will going to add that and I will going to execute it. I'm not concerned with other than any other person. If they want to override my changes, so at the time of execution, it will going to get override. Again, if again I will going to execute my test cases, then again my changes will going to get added. At the time of execution, whatever buffer you will going to create on the runtime, it will going to create it and then it will going to reuse it. You don't
See,
have to take keep a track of those buffer values
no,
because
yours.
that is getting creating on in runtime
Hello,
and getting
Amit.
used. Yeah.
Oh, you're speaking
Hello,
only on
Amit.
test case levels.
Piyush here.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Amit. Piyush here. I have
Yeah,
just one
Piyush.
suggestion. Am I audible? Yeah, I
Yes.
request like in regular session, I request you to streamline the question and answer session because if the flow is going on in the teaching and if there are back-to-back questions or any queries which are not
Yeah,
relevant
for
or
the
which
session we're going
require
to
too
take
much discussion,
take it
so
at the end. Yeah.
uh,
So as this is a demo
yeah,
session,
and
so
because
we have to take
okay.
all the questions according to the candidates. Okay. So we for the regular session we're going to take it at the end. Okay. Okay. So now what I want to do, I want to trim the value in runtime. Right now, what is happening? Whatever text it is present over here, motorcycle insurance, the whole text is getting added in this vehicle type variable. Okay. Let me copy this again and paste it over here. So now what is happening? The whole text is getting added. Now I don't want that. In runtime, I want to trim the values. Like if you can see, if I click on the automobile, I'm getting automobile insurance, truck insurance, motorcycle insurance. I don't want insurance part. I'm concerned with the previous value. Whatever value is coming before the insurance, I want to trim that values. How we can do that? So for that, we will going to use dynamic buffer. So how we can use that? Simply let me copy this particular text. Okay, now I will going to add that particular text over here, and now whatever value you want to buffer, simply remove that values and put curly braces x b square bracket, let's go with a veh only. Okay, and make the action mode as verify. Now what it will do, it will going to do two things. First, it will going to check for the insurance. In that particular text, insurance is present or not. Yes, insurance is present. Then after before insurance, we have added a syntax XP vehicle. So whatever text will be there, it will going to add that text in this particular variable. So if I execute my test case again,
So it's a kind of wildcard.
yes. So now you can see over here. So only motorcycle is getting buffered. The insurance part is not getting buffered. Okay. So that is called as a dynamic buffer. So at least you should have something for creating a reference, and on the basis of that it will going to buffer the values, but the action mode should be verified. If you are adding as a buffer, it will not going to work. Okay, so this is called as a dynamic buffer because in runtime you are trimming the values whatever is required. Like consider a scenario of a Amazon. Okay, I'm having a Amazon order ID is 12345. Again, the Amazon order ID will be 12346. Amazon 78. Okay, I don't want this particular Amazon part. I'm concerned with the number. I need only number part. So in that case, you can do the trimming. So what you will do, you will going to remove the values, put a curly braces, x, b, square bracket, whatever variable you want to pass, you can pass it over here, and this will going to give you the number in runtime. Whatever IDs it will going to generate, that particular number will going to get saved in this particular order ID variable. Okay. Any questions, any doubt? So this is called as a dynamic buffer. In runtime, whatever you want to trim, you can trim according to your requirement.
For dynamic, we need to pass only the action mode as a verify.
Yes, because it will going to verify the data as well. It will going to
And I
verify
want to
that
capture the data, and I want to capture the data, pass it to another field. We can do that, right?
yes, now we are able to get this particular variable. So if you want to pass it over here. You can do that. Curly
Okay,
braces
okay,
V square
okay,
bracket VEH. You can see it
okay.
will going to execute this one, so it will going to pass the data here.
What's the difference in buffering and dynamic to so that I can
Buffer means it will going to whatever it is having, it will going to dump it. And in dynamic buffer, you can trim the value in runtime. Whatever is your requirement, specific requirement you have, you can get that particular text and then you can remove the or you can eliminate the remaining text.
So in buffer, we can also store other values, right? A part of this test, we can store images also, right? Images and other
No,
things.
only variable will be acceptable in this particular variable. No images and all those.
Okay.
And what is the benefit of this?
Which one?
Both buffer and
dynamic.
uh,
So buffer
verify
is
like the
used
text.
when you want to, like you are, okay, now let's consider a scenarios. I'm having an application of Amazon. So what you have done, you have searched something. Okay, you have searched certain products, and now what you have done, you have done add to cart. Okay, you have added to the cart. Now what you will do, you will going to do a payment to that product. Now your order confirmation will be there, like there is a confirmation that you have successfully placed your order. Now this is your order ID. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to do the tracking of my product. So how you will going to do that? If I have to track something, then what will be the process? I will go to the track page. I will going to add this particular order ID, and then I will going to validate that what is the status of this particular order. Correct? Yes, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you already know, this order ID will going to get generated randomly. There is not any fixed values. It can be Amazon 123, Amazon 456, and so on. Then how you will going to get this particular value so that you can pass it in your track status? How you will going to track it? Unless and until you will not going to save these particular values in some variable. Correct?
Yeah. Yes. So, Amir, while running the system, it
Hmm?
will look for the Amazon in that particular position, or for example, tomorrow if any code changes, the Amazon order already might be changed some other position. In that case, it will fail, or it will see Amazon in any other position. I mean,
So if there will be change, then you have to update your
re-
test cases.
okay, recapture the object again,
Okay.
right?
Like,
That's what. Okay.
yes, you have to capture it and then accordingly you have to do the maintenance of your test cases.
Okay. Okay.
Amit, tell me one thing, generic question. So how Tosca is like Selenium check the XPath and ID of
Mhm.
HTML. How Tosca is capturing the web element?
It is also using the properties only.
Same
Okay.
DOM elements.
Yeah, IDs. So if I go to modules, get directly I can jump from here. Okay, this is my module. I just want to know that automobile is recognizing by what? It is recognizing by this particular ID, so NAV automobile. If I go to
Okay.
make, you can see tag name and IDs.
So if I want to verify the look and feel of a button or page, let's say color or something. So image, basically I want to verify the image directly, image to image, something like that. Like
Image
there
to
is some
image comparison, that we need to
Sikuri,
check
Sikuri
because
or
we
something.
we have a RGB, so you can color coding and all those you can validate over here. Okay, but image I don't think so. You can do the PDF validation as well, but
Okay.
image to image comparison is not there.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
So how
Fine.
many values we can pass in the buffer, sir? Like you said, just only one. How many values we can pass in buffer in the same?
You can pass single value in the same buffer.
Only one value.
Yes. And if you want to pass multiple values, then you have to create buffer array.
Oh, okay. And this one
Okay.
dynamic, how to handle that?
So for dynamic buffer, you can see you can add this particular expression xb and you can pass any variable. So whatever text will be there before this particular insurance, it will going to capture it. Okay, and save it in this variable. Like you can see the motorcycle insurance we are having over here. So it will going to check that okay, insurance is present, and before insurance, whatever syntax you have added xb1, so it will going to save that value in that particular variable. Okay, so this is we are having right now with a buffer values. If you want to generate more buffer of your own choice, you don't have to depend on this particular application or so you can go to module section, go to the buffer operation, and you have the name to buffer. You can simply drag and drop it over here. Now I want to generate some values with environment. I want to create an environment with QA. If I execute this one, it will going to generate a buffer for me. Within parameters. Okay, am I doing something wrong? Oh, sorry. Name to buffer. It should be tbox set buffer. Where is it? Yeah. So I'm going to make it as environment QA, or I want to create a number with values 3. You can create n number of buffer in one shot. So if I execute this one, it will going to generate 2 buffers in my system. Now you can see on the right side environment QA, and this number is 3. Now again I will going to use this particular same variable and I will going to make it as a UAT, and I will going to make this number as 5. It will going to override this buffer values because I'm using the same variable name. Okay, now you can see over here UAT and number 5 is updated. So if you are using the same variable name, it will going to override those changes. Okay. So these are the standard modules which are providing by Tricentis Tosca. You can use it to create buffer of your choice. And even if you want to use it, even you can use that. Let me put it at the top. And now I want to pass this particular number value as 5 over here in these values. So simply put curly braces, p square bracket, and see num is getting displayed, square bracket, curly braces close. If I execute this particular test case, the 5 value will pass in that particular values.
In that case, we
Okay.
can use a test data sheet, right, Amir? Test data sheet.
Yeah, we will go to use the test data sheet to pass the values. Right now, just I'm buffering, I'm showing you. If you
Okay.
have buffered something, you can pass it in your any field. Okay, for passing this data, we will not going to hard code these values. We will going to pass it from the test sheet. So let me go if it check. No, I don't have this. I have created a new one, so that's why. Okay, have this test sheet in my previous repository. Okay, so we're going to use test case design section, and over there we're going to create a test sheet, and all the data will be passed from the test sheet. Right now you are seeing, you can see we are hard coding the values. So if something will going to get changed in future, you have to go to your individual test cases and do the uh, required changes over there. Okay, if you are having one test cases, then it will be fine. If you are having
Yeah.
100 200 test cases, in that case, like they have removed audi from their drop down. So what you will do, you will going to go to every individual test cases and check that audi where OD is present, you have to remove it, correct? That is not a feasible
Yeah.
scenarios. So we're going to pass it from the test sheet. You just have to update the sheet test sheet over there. From the drop down values, you have to remove the OD, make it as a BMW, whatever you want, and automatically your test cases will going to get updated.
So
Okay.
where
So the
is the
Yeah,
test
best
that
practice is, sorry, for best practices, for passing multiple value, it's always better to have a test case design, right? Passing the data,
Yes.
multiple values.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And one last questions.
If you have a
Mm-hmm.
static data, then we will going to use a test sheet. If you have a dynamic data, then we're going to use test data services.
Okay.
Okay.
where is the test sheet in?
Sorry.
Test sheet you said no, where it is?
It is in my previous repository. Right now, I'm using an I have created new repository for you, so that's why those changes are not there.
But
Okay. If
as
you
you
want,
said, if you want to change any property value or even if it is a field value, then if you have some 100 test case, how once for all do we
so
change?
right now we have hard coded the value. We are not passing it from test sheet. Okay. Let me do a check in all and show you the test sheet. I'm going to close this particular workspace. Okay, so this is my test cases over here. What we have done, if you go to this particular test, so all this data is coming from the test sheet. So where we can find the test sheet, if I do a right click, jump to schema definition. So now you can see all this data will be coming from this test sheet. Okay, so whenever in future, if there will be some changes, I will going to update this data accordingly and it will going to work.
So if there is any value change or any field change, we can do it here and it
Not
will
field,
impact.
only value. If your field is
What?
getting changed, then you have to update your test cases. Correct. Right now I'm having these many data. If your data is getting changed, you can change it from the test sheet. If new fields will going to get added, how you will going to handle it from the test sheet? Test sheet is providing you the data.
No, if a
Then
new field is the old field is getting replaced with the new field, at that time how do you replace all?
not field, it should be value. Okay,
Sorry?
so if it should be value, not field. Now earlier it was BMW. I want to change it to Audi. So simply I will going to select from Audi and now I will going to update my test cases over here. Okay, let me show you. Earlier it was Audi. Now it will become BMW over here. As you can see, this is a BMW, I think. Yeah, BMW is there, and what I have done, I have done certain changes to the test sheet. Yeah, you can see right now I have changed it to Audi. So what I will do, I will quickly going to refresh it, and now you can see Audi is getting added over here.
Yeah, so value it can be changed. Fields, if we want to change old field to new field, then we have to change test case.
You have to rescan it and add those field over there.
That's complex.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you map this make drop down to the test sheet? How it's mapping?
That is a part of framework. We're going to discuss that.
Okay, 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 fine.
Okay.
Okay.
First, we'll go with a very basic. We're going to hard code the values. We'll get to try all the things whatever we have, and then slowly we'll going to migrate to framework.
Okay,
Okay.
one last question. For example, if I checked out today and then someone check in modified something, and tomorrow, do we get any flexibility in trust and this to get the report? Like these are the changes happened, like a kind of report, so that we can aware of it. Okay, what are the changes that happened, instead of going and check it manually. Any flexibility in there in this too?
We have a versioning, so you can
Okay,
check the history, who has done what changes.
okay, okay,
Okay.
fine, fine. I mean, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, anyone?
Uh, sir, just one last thing about that field thing. So if you have some 100 test cases for the same field, if the this old field is getting replaced with new field, then for all the 100 test cases, you can't go and do manually change, right? So at that time, like value, okay, it's understood that we can do it in data sheet or
That will be
here.
handled by called as class. So that is another topic we're going to take in framework part.
Okay, cool.
You just have to delete the values already from your class, and all your instance will going to get removed from that. Okay. Yes, I go ahead.
So when are we going to install the software so that we can parallelly
From
adapt?
tomorrow we're going to start it. Okay.
Okay.
So today is the last day, and from tomorrow we're going to start. So those who are still pending or thinking of for the enrollment, please do the enrollment. So only people who has enrolled, they will going to get all the softwares and all those. Okay. So tomorrow will be the uh, starting of the first day of the batch. Okay.
Amir, one question.
Yeah.
We created a test case and we added to execution list.
Hmm.
And after that, again, we did some changes to the test case. So those will get reflected to execution list.
Yes. So just you have to update your test cases and you can execute your test cases in the execution list automatically. You don't have to worry.
How to update? Because today I did na, so I was unable to get the change updated in the execution list.
No, no, no. You won't get the execution. So when you will going to do a recent or refresh execution, then all those changes will going to get executed. Old one will not going to get those changes.
You mean
Okay.
new
Like,
test case we have to add?
no, the same test case, just do a control S, check in all, and you can check out your execution list and do the execution. It will not going to impact anything.
Okay, I'm not sure like which license we are using, but for us like that check in, check out, those are disabled. And
So
right, huh.
yeah, so that will not going to that. I think maybe you are using a free trial license, or not.
And
They have not done the setup for the shared repository. That's
okay,
why.
and that test configuration also, I was unable to add any of the values.
No, it won't impact the test case configuration. You can add it. If you want to add it over here, so simply go to your test case config, do a right click. First check out your execution list, and then
Uh-huh.
you will going to do a right click. You will get an option over here like I want to set for browser. You can add the browser over there of your choice, Edge,
Mhm.
or I want to add one more configuration of synchronization. You can add the synchronization timeout or synchronization wait on
Mhm.
10 second, 20 second, whatever you want to add. So it will be enabled unless and until you are not doing a checkout to this particular execution list. You are not allowed to add any config. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Anything
Amir,
else?
any solution on that which I which I shared you, at least
Uh, so we can
simple
handle it
PO
using a dynamic buffer.
dynamic buffer.
Yeah,
Okay,
but we
okay, I
have to
will
take
try.
some. Yeah, we have
Mm-hmm.
to take some reference accordingly. So
Mm-hmm. Can
we have
I
to.
take 29 comma likewise?
Yeah, you can add that.
Okay, I will try and will let you know.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anyone?
So that time you were showing that example, right? You said
Sorry.
after the session we can take. You said no, like that vehicle type. You were showing
Uh,
that example 4 and 5. How do you make it? If you're okay, you can.
which example?
That vehicle type, that buffer, it will override you were explaining, and we thought to ask Q&A after the session. If you're
Okay.
finished all the questions here.
Okay, so what we have done over here, so you have already seen that if you are using the same variable over there, let me go back. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
this is
my
my
question was that time as you were talking on the test case level, what I was
yes.
asking, the same element, for example, we have a vehicle field in your test case in your page. I am handling some 10th page in the application and mine is some other test case number. Okay, so uh, your test case and the same field we have in a different pages with a different test case. Okay, in practically, so once you said it will override it, the question was like you give if I run your test case, yeah, it will overwrite your value, but my question was the same field it will present in page 1 and page 10, which is a total different test case, and this one, so in that way it will conflict will happen. You have given some buffer value, I have given.
So you have added this particular buffer value in first page, in the second page as well, correct?
No, in your first page only, you are focused only on your first page. You don't know in the 10th page whether we get it or not. So
Okay.
which I knows it, okay, in the team. So that way, then the conflict. That was a question.
So if you are creating a buffer with this particular number one, number five, okay. If you are using in n number of places, it will going to give you the same result as five only. Okay, I don't know how it will going to create a conflict, because if I have created a number five in my system right now, and if I'm in the whole test cases, if I'm not modifying these values, then how it will going to make any change?
See, in your test case, you have given 5, but in my test case, for the if I have given that,
10.
I mean,
Okay, now you have given a 10 values, correct?
yeah, but I will run my test case, I not your
So you
test
will
case.
going to,
Then
okay, you will going to execute your test case. So what buffer it will going to create in your system?
I'm not telling about local. In the main repository only, we are executing the central repository at that time.
No, don't concern with all the shared repository and all those. Now just tell me you are executing your test cases in your system. Now what will be the
Yeah,
values?
local part I'm fine. Definitely it will run hours. But my question was at that time, if it is shared one, then how the rule will? That's what.
So the same thing will be there. If you are executing my test cases, my buffer will going to get created in your local system.
I think you are
So
not
which
getting my. No, no. In the shared repository, I'm not doing your test case. I'm running my own test case, but we both are sharing the same field. So at that time, how on what rule
don't
it will?
don't 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 get into the shared repository and all those things. You are simply executing your test cases on your system. Okay. Now whatever variable you will going to create, it will get used by you in your system. Whatever variable I will going to create, it will get used in my system. And now you want to execute my test cases in your system, then I have to make sure that those variables should get created in your system before executing my test cases.
Yeah,
Now
that
you
part
got it?
okay. Yeah, local part, yes, definitely that is understood.
Not local, not shared. All the things will going to get added in your system automatically once you checked out. Now you will going to take pull of my test cases. So what it will do, it will going to like number five. If you are executing my test cases, so from top to bottom, what it will do, it will going to get executed, and this particular number five will going to get added in your system because you are executing my test cases. Now you got it?
So
There is nothing. Yeah.
in the real thing, are we executing test cases in a central shared repository or only in local? How is it?
Actually, you are not getting the things. Okay, you are connected to one of the system. The system will going to give you just an update. You are executing your test cases in Git repository or in your IDE,
Okay,
where you are executing your test cases,
in my
not in a
own
Git
local.
repository. Correct? So what you are doing, you are hitting those Git repository and just taking the update, and then you are executing on your system. Correct? The same
Yeah.
way, if you are working on a shared repository, the shared repository will be used to take the update. That's it. It will not going to
Oh,
execute your test cases over there. Okay.
that was my question. Only we are taking the changes of the, but we have
Yes.
execution is on the
And
local, right?
whatever is required to execute those test cases, if you are pulling some test cases from some other system, so whatever is required to execute those test cases, they have to make sure that those values should get created in their test cases. If you are executing my test cases like this, like I'm creating a buffer value as a number 5 and I'm using it in my some of my fields, so I have to make sure that this particular variable should be created on your system. Then how it will going to use it, correct?
So in general, whatever the execution happens only in local, not in the shared repository, correct?
No, shared
Okay.
repository is a system from where you are taking the test cases, so that
Okay.
all of your candidate or all of your colleagues should update those data over there. That is a git repository if you want to consider.
So when the
Sir, it
lead
is just a
sees the
storage space
results,
only.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
got it. No, no, I got it. What she said. So,
Okay.
sir, when the team lead wants to see the results of all the testers, he goes to the shared repository, and see the test status, right? How many test cases?
No, if I want to know the status of the test cases, I will go to the execution list and check that how many test cases are executed. If your
Okay.
test cases are not there, I will not concern with that. I will just simply, okay, this test case is getting failed. I will simply do a right click, jump to that test cases. Okay, this test cases is having this. You can see, you can even change your status. Okay, so you are executing those test cases, and right now it is in planned state. It means you have not started with this testing.
Okay. So it
If
will
your
tell the creator also, right? Who created the test case?
yes, you can see in work means your test case is in progress. You are working on it, so I will not going to review it. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so
So you
if
will
you go over here and go to the properties, you will be able to see who has done what changes. And accordingly, like if you want to review your test cases, then you can see they can create a group, reviewing group, admin user, or so they will going to list all the names of your colleague who want to review your changes. They can click and set okay, I have reviewed this particular test cases, it's working fine, and as per the Tricentis best practices all the things are followed, it's working fine, and you can show the execution list as well. My test cases are executing on a daily basis with zero error.
Yeah, yeah, got it. As someone asked that time that if any latest changes happens, rather than we seeing manually, he asked right
Ye-
next day,
so
only the
that
highlight.
particular person will going to get, you can see modified by, so if someone has, so I will going to get over there that okay, Achala has modified my test cases and so date, you can get the timestamp as well.
So we don't need to see manually each thing. Only we get the latest updated like this, right?
Yes. If you want to get like, okay, 10% have done the modification in these test cases, the latest one will going to display over here, correct? So what we can do, I can do a right click and I can go with a versioning control history. Over there, whatever changes and what time it will be done, you can check over there. Okay, these many person, admin, these users had done my, has done the changes in my test cases, and you can get it from here, and then you can catch hold this person that okay, it was working fine and right now you have done the changes, now my test case is not working, if you want to blame
Thank you.
someone.
Thank you
Okay,
so
so
much.
keep the track of the history. Okay, anything else, anyone? Okay, so from tomorrow onwards we're going to start with the installation, so I will going to, the team will going to share the drive details with you. You can download those files and then we're going to continue, and how to enroll for the license and all those we'll going to see tomorrow. Okay. Okay, then if we don't have anything, I think we are good to close this call. So thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good day.
See you,
Thank you.
guys.